Welcome back, everybody. So my next movie review for you is a classic, and it is The Great Escape. But once again, before I get into this review, if you enjoy watching my reviews, if you could please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, that would be very, very much appreciated. So, The Great Escape was released on the 4th of July, 1963. Its director was John Sturges. It was made on a budget of $3.8 million US dollars and made 11.7 million US dollars in the box office, and probably a lot more since then. The cast in this movie consists of Steve McQueen, Richard Attenborough, we've got Charles Bronson, we've got James Coburn, plus many, many others. Okay, so in this movie, we have probably one of the simplest plot lines and stories in movie history. Is the fact that there is a group of American and British soldiers during World War II who are in a prisoner of war camp, and they are just going to constantly try and escape. It's simple as that. A simple storyline, and it just works so well. And if you want to know my thoughts on this movie, the review is coming up right about now. So here we go, The Great Escape movie review. Now when I say review, I think this is just going to be more of an appreciation, okay? Because this movie is absolutely fantastic. Remember the first time I watched this, I sat down with my dad when I was a kid, and I was just like that. This movie's awesome, and I still get exactly the same kind of feel while watching this movie now. Okay, so I watched this movie again last weekend, and I'm only just reviewing it. I've had a bit of a busy week, but I remember watching it last Sunday. I was just like, I've forgotten exactly how good this movie is. There's no complicated storyline here. There's no different plot twists. It is simply about a group of American and British soldiers trying to escape. Every single one of these prisoners in this movie have in this prison because they are constantly trying to escape. They do not want to be locked up. They want to get home. They want to get out of this. They want to do their part in the war. You get behind every single character in this movie as well. You really, really do. They all got their own different kind of quirky kind of attitude to them, and you just grow attachments to all of the characters in here because they all have their motivational goals to escape from these prisons and why they want to escape. And I generally love that. They make a very conscious effort on making sure that you feel for the characters, especially the main characters. There's two standout performances in my personal opinion in this, and that is Steve McQueen's performance. He comes across as this very cocky American who's constantly testing the Germans. He spends most of the time in the cooler in this movie, but every time he gets out, there's always kind of an attempt to kind of escape, or that kind of process of thinking of how he is going to escape next. Other characters in here, or the other character that I really enjoyed in here, is Charles Bronson's character. Okay, he is the tunnel digger. Okay, he is the person that digs the tunnel, but yet he is claustrophobic. But his motivation is that he cannot stay in these prisons. He wants to get out, so he will do anything or whatever it takes, or he hides his claustrophobical fear, apologies, to try and accomplish his motivation. Like I said, every single character in here has a motivation of getting out, and this movie has like kind of three stages, as it's 3 hours. The first hour is the plan, introducing you to the characters, the plan of how they're going to try and escape. The second hour of this movie is trying to build on this plan, or making the tunnel. Okay, so everything they have to do to escape, to avoid suspicion, so on and so on and so on. And then the third hour of this is when they escape and what they're going to try, or how they're going to try and invade the Germans. I generally love the kind of structure of this because it's not hard to follow. You just sit there, you're entertained by everybody. Every single one of these characters are testing the Germans in their own specific way. You do get certain emotions in this movie. You get all sorts. You get funny moments in this movie, and yet you get these kind of more serious moments in this movie. And I just generally love the feel of this. Okay, it's nearly 3 hours long, and it felt like I was only like watched it for like an hour and a half. It just felt like an hour and a half movie, but yet it is nearly 3 hours long. This is how much I enjoy this, and how much this movie sucks me in. Okay, because it's always going to be a classic. This is a definition of a classic movie, okay? And it's a movie that I can constantly go back to and still get exactly the same amount of enjoyment as I did from the first time I watched it. And if any of you guys have not seen this movie, okay, I do highly recommend it. It's not going to be for everybody, okay? This movie was made in 1963, so it's not going to be for everybody, but just give it a watch. Give it a watch, come back, tell me what you think. If you agree with some of the things that I say, please just feel free. If you don't, just put it in the comments down below. But you will be pleasantly surprised by this movie. For a movie which is nearly 50, 60 years old, is still holding the test of time with one of the most iconic kind of soundtracks as well in this. It's just absolutely fantastic. You will get behind their characters. They all have their motivational goals. And if I was to give this a rating, I'm sorry, it's going to get a strong 10 out of 10 every single time. I never get bored by watching this movie. I like the way this was shot. I like the fact that they gave you a conscious effort. They made a conscious effort to make sure that you get attached to pretty much all of the characters which are escaping in this movie, and I loved what they did. I think it's absolutely superbly shot. I like the action sequences towards the end. I like the idea. It's just absolutely fantastic, and yes, it's loosely based on a true story as well, and I just love it, and I will always get so much enjoyment from this movie. It's as simple as that. So on that note, hope you all have a great rest of the day, whatever you're doing. Please take care, and goodbye.